In this video, we're going to start looking at how content within WordPress ends up on a page. Okay, we know the basics of this, right? We have template files within our theme, and these template files are used to display our content. Okay, so in this video, we're just going to look at how we get from here to here. And again, this is our really basic blank theme. All right, so you enter content in the content area. This content is structured, meaning it's broken into parts, right? We have a title. This is just the content area. And we also have things like a date, published date, and things like that. We might also extend our content objects to have other attributes, but we'll talk about that in later videos. This content is sent to a template. Okay, so here I'm working in my child theme and I'm working on my single page template. And in a later video, we'll talk more about how WordPress decides which template to use. But in here, we're just going to kind of read this template and start understanding how they work. So templates are a common part of all CMSs, okay? And they all work roughly the same. We'll be looking at things that are specific to how WordPress does templates, but if you understand these concepts, you can understand how other content management systems work. So templates are written in what are called backend or server-side programming languages. WordPress is written in PHP. So if you look at this, you're going to see some HTML, but you're also going to see these parts that are inside PHP tags, okay? So PHP is kind of like HTML, but it has a start and an end. This is the start, this is the end, and inside this is a different language. This is PHP. And largely what's happening in these templates is the server knows what object is being displayed, and it sends that information to the template, and then these sections act as kind of placeholders that will get replaced, okay? So if we're just reading this main part, so we've got main, role equals main. Let's take a look at our page and find that section of our HTML just so we can follow along. Okay, so I've got main, role equals main, I've got section, then I've got H1. So if we come here, we've got a section, then we have an H1, then we have a PHP tag that says the title. So this is called a template tag, and it's just something built into WordPress. And what this does is it says, okay, take whatever object this page is doing, right? Whichever object this page is supposed to be displaying, and spit out the title. So the title here is sample page, and it gets spit out into my HTML here. So we render this into just regular HTML, okay? If we keep reading this, we're gonna hit this line. This line is really important for you to understand. You don't need to understand what all the parentheses and colons mean, but you need to know that when you see this line, this is called the loop. And the loop is a WordPress thing, and it says, okay, whatever object or objects are being displayed on this page, I want you to loop through them. So do this for each one, okay? So in WordPress, we have two kinds of templates. We have single templates and archive templates. Single templates just spit out one thing. So this is just going to spit out the page that we're on. But you'll also see this same line of code for an archive page. So like if you're displaying a list of blog posts, and what that's going to do is say, okay, for each blog post that this page is supposed to display, loop through and do this for each one, okay? So for now, this is just going to do this code for our one page. So we hit article, an article element. We've got ID, post, hyphen, and then we've got another template tag. So pages and posts all have a unique ID. And if we look here, we can see that article ID equals post hyphen 2. So the ID for this one is 2, okay? And we're just going through. Here we've got PHP, the content. So the content is a template tag that is going to spit out whatever is right here. So this is going to be a bunch of HTML. It's going to be blocks, things like that. That's going to get spit out right there. So that's this part, right? And then obviously CSS is going to be applied to this. Okay, right now we're just spitting out HTML. Let's see. So we've got comments template. Okay, and we've got a note here. So this dash dash is a note. Remove if you don't want comments. So if you want to take the comments out, you can delete this line if you're sure you don't want comments. The other thing that you can do is dash dash in PHP is a comment. So what I've done is I've just commented out that line, so it's not going to take effect. And then we've got this edit post link that only happens if you're logged in as the admin. So I'm going to update this file. And again, you can do this in a text editor if you want to over FTP. We're just going to do it here. And if I refresh, I think that the comments should be gone, or possibly I had already comments taken off. Okay, but let's make a change just to see what we do. So this is H1. Let's just change it to an H2. It's not a change we would probably be making, but I just want to demonstrate. So here I've got this, and I'm going to do H2, update file, refresh, and this is now an H2. Okay, so really basic. Other things you need to know about templates are broken into pieces. So this first line that says get header says go and get all of the header. This is another file. Okay, there's a header.php file, and everything in the HTML above this point is in that header file. So if you want to like add a new CSS file, you would do that there. If you want to change something in the header, you would do that there. Similarly, we're going to have a get sidebar and get footer. Okay, you can also change the layout of the page in this way if you needed to either add divs, or if you're working in Bootstrap and you need to change the classes that control your columns. You can do all of that here. So in the next video, we'll take a look at which templates apply to which pages, and then we'll start getting into some more interesting things that we can do within this loop section.